This is a modern fable of the big city. It's about a swinging bachelor with a problem. His boss.
I'm sorry, Peter. I believe in married executives. No marriage, no promotion.
He shared this problem with his friend, a hat-check girl.
It's too bad you can't do what I do to protect myself in this place.
What's that?
Pretend you're married.
And did she give him an idea?
Yeah.
Greta, you have given me the solution to my problem. A make-believe wife. That's the answer for my boss.
Peter, you must be out of your mind.
No, Greta, I mean it. I want you to be my wife. Occasionally.
So she went on salary as his occasional wife. And they set up housekeeping. Peter in his apartment on the 7th floor, and Greta in her apartment on the 9th floor. To the lasting confusion of the fellow in between.
Hi.
Hi there, Greta.
Where's my allowance?
I'd rather we didn't get into that this beautiful morning.
Oh, I'm sure. But I'm also sure that you've noticed that the cost of living has been on the rise.
Greta, my dear, I would love to help you out, but I feel that I owe it to my country to help fight inflation.
But...
For management to treat labor with such disdain, Peter's got to have something up his sleeve.
Hello there, loveliness.
Peter, Mr. Brahms.
It's like a lullaby, but you, my dear, are like a symphony.
Mr. Christopher, if you can stop flirting with my secretary for a minute, I would like to talk with you.
Hello, Mr. Brahms, and a good morning to you.
I've seen no evidence of that, and the morning's nearly over.
Careful, Mr. Brahms. You get an ulcer, wind up having to eat your own baby food.
Come in.
Sorry, Mr. Brahms, I'm a little pressed for time at the moment.
You're what?
If you please excuse me, I'll check back with you first chance I get.
For labor to treat management with such disdain, no doubt about it, Peter must have something up his sleeve.
And if we're to get this company moving again, I told them upstairs, I said we've got to get some vital new blood.
Yes, I can understand that.
I said, Mr. Morgan, we can't keep stagnating this way. We've got to get new blood into this company.
Absolutely.
Well, sir, Mr. Morgan and the other Mr. Morgan, they both agreed. So I'm taking the initiative right here and now. I like you, Christopher.
Thank you, sir.
You look to me like a young man with a lot of
New blood.
Right. Do you want the job?
I want it.
You've got it. You're hired.
Good, good. Then I'll just give my notice right away to Mr. Brahms and, everybody.
Fine. And I'll tell Mr. Morgan and Mr. Morgan. I'm sure they'll be most anxious to meet you. How about tomorrow for luncheon?
Perfect.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, Christopher.
Yes, sir.
Just for the record, married, family?
Make a difference?
No. Cheaper for us if you're a bachelor. Fewer fringe benefits.
Well, for both our sakes, I'm delighted to be a bachelor.
Bachelor.
That's right, sir. Bachelor. Single. Free.
Well, now we know what Peter had up his sleeve. Trouble. Trouble for Brahms and trouble for Greta. Now Peter is that nice. Happy, isn't he? And why not? New job, big raise, a young man on his way to success. He's about to share his good fortune with his present boss. Or, to put it another way, he's about to quit.
Surely I can't be the first one to tell you what a fantastic resemblance you have to Elizabeth Taylor.
Peter, you're in trouble. Mr. Brahms is beside himself.
No, two of him?
I mean it. The way you just walked out on him this morning.
Well, I didn't just walk out on him. I had an appointment.
Peter, I want to see you.
Since by a fortunate coincidence, I would like to see you as well.
Inside!
Mr. Brahms, it looks like
Peter!
the time has come.
I
don't know what's the matter with you.
Well, perhaps it's just
But
that
I
I've...
don't care. Just cut it out.
Well, Mr. Brahms, you see...
I'm a busy man, and I don't have time for insubordination.
Well, then maybe...
So that's settled. Now, next time when I want to talk to you, I want to talk to you.
Well, Mr. Brahms, it's possible that there may not be a next time.
I certainly don't expect it to happen again.
It won't.
Good. Sit down. Now, what I had in mind wasn't exactly business. It was more of a pleasure. Mrs. Brahms and I would like you and Greta to come to dinner Thursday evening.
Well, thank you, Mr. Brahms, but I don't
Approximately 6:30 on the dot.
Mr. Brahms, there is something
Now,
that I
don't
would...
be late. Now, don't feel that you have to bring anything, you know, like flowers, for instance.
Mr.
Although
Brahms.
Mrs. Brahms does like roses. Not the long-stem red roses, but the long-stem yellow roses. But please don't feel that you have to go to any bother. And let's watch that attitude.
That's telling him, Peter.
Dear Mr. Brahms, please be advised that I am resigning to take a far more lucrative and responsible position with Morgan Brothers. In view of this, I regretfully decline your command appearance for dinner Thursday evening, both on behalf of myself and also Miss Greta Patterson, who I have been prevailing upon to pose as my wife, the better to conform to the stereotyped executive image that prevails at Brahms.
Well, that's very definitely one down. And one very different one to go. Saying goodbye to a boss is one thing, but breaking up a marriage, even a make-believe one, is quite another.
Hello.
Hi. What you doing here?
Peter, please sit down. I want to talk to you. We must get some things straight.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you mentioned that because,
Now, item 1.
Item 1. This a long list?
Oh, it is a very long list. A list of demands, none of which is negotiable. Now, item 1. To play the part of your wife properly, I must have some new clothes.
Oh, why? I love the ones you got.
You've always loved the ones I've got, so has everybody else. It's getting to be embarrassing. To continue.
Still item 1?
Item 2. You are calling on my services as your wife too often.
Beg your pardon?
My social services. It's interfering with my personal life.
Well, you know, that often happens to a woman after marriage. Her personal life goes right down the tubes.
My apartment.
Your apartment, that's item 3.
Item 3.
Item 3.
My apartment is ridiculous, Peter. Now, when I have company,
You know,
it's
I don't
downright
even see how you
embarrassing.
can afford to entertain on your allowance.
You're not taking this seriously.
Right. You know why?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yes, I do, because you think I'm bluffing. Well, I'm not. I need really almost a complete new wardrobe. And I've got to get some art supplies. I'm drawing on the back of grocery bags. And most of all, I need time for myself.
You, have spoken.
I have spoken. I'm sorry, Peter, but each of us has to look out for his own best interest.
I, guess you're right.
Can't you see we just can't go on the way we have?
Absolutely not.
I want to be fair.
Yes, but, we can't go on like this, huh?
No, we can't.
I want to be very clear now. You insist if, you don't get all the things that you want, our deal is off, right?
Absolutely.
Well, so be it. Auf Wiedersehen, Rivederci, tut-tut, au revoir, and so long.
What do you mean?
It's over.
Our marriage?
Yeah, 1 out of 4. It's a national statistic.
How can it be over, Mr. Brahms?
Oh, well, him, I'll quit.
You wouldn't.
I did.
You didn't?
Yes, I did. I did. Really, I did. Here, read for yourself.
What is this?
That's a copy of the letter I wrote to Brahms. Mailed it this afternoon. He'll get it first thing in the morning.
You quit?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I got a better job offer. Executive assistant at Morgan Brothers. They'd rather have me as a bachelor. It keeps their fringe benefits down.
Oh, I see. What about me?
I've been worrying about that a lot.
Well, obviously.
No, I have. Really, I have. And I'm going to give you 4 weeks' notice. 4 weeks. And then that way you'll have plenty of time to find a job.
Peter, you cannot do this to me.
Now, Greta, each of us has to look out for his own best interests.
Oh, Peter.
Ah, Greta, now. Cheer up. You're a young woman. You'll marry again.
Well, no separation is ever achieved without some heartbreak. Next day at Morgan Brothers, Peter returned to solidify his position, consolidate his gains, and enjoy lunch in the executive suite.
Yes?
I'm looking for Mr. Stringfellow.
Oh, well, I'm afraid he's gone.
Gone? Oh, you mean he went to lunch?
Well, as a matter of fact, that too. He is out to lunch.
I don't understand. I had a lunch date with him.
Well, who are you?
Oh, I'm Peter Christopher, Mr. Stringfellow's new executive assistant.
Oh. Well, Christopher, let me give you some good advice. Don't quit your present job.
Why not?
Well, Stringfellow's just about to lose his.
Fired?
Fired.
At lunch?
Well, my uncles like to do it personally, as graciously as they can.
Your uncles are the Morgan brothers, huh?
Right. I'm H.K. Morgan III, the new general manager.
Poor Stringfellow.
Well, he did have one terrific idea. He kept saying to my uncles that they needed,
New blood.
new blood. Well, they finally took his advice, and here I am.
Gotcha. Good luck. Say, let me give you some good advice.
What's that?
Don't ever have lunch with your uncles.
Cheer up, Peter. With unemployment insurance and 1 month's deposit on your apartment, you probably won't starve to death for at least 60 days. The instinct for self-preservation so often noted in the jungle is no less present in the world of commerce. Peter is about to challenge the decision fate has rendered and get back his letter immediately, if not sooner.
Operator? Mr. Brom's office, please. Hello, Edie. This is Marvin in the mailroom. Package for Mr. Brom's.
Peter.
Mr. Brom's, Mr. Brom's.
Ah, Peter.
I was just looking for you.
In my upper right-hand drawer?
No, not in the drawer. I mean, on top. Hi.
I want to talk to you.
Yes, sir.
I've had my eye on you,
Yes, sir.
and I like what I see. You're doing a fine job, Peter.
You haven't read your mail yet, I see, huh?
What's that got to do with it?
Nothing. I just saw it piling up on your desk, and I thought I would take it down to my office and read it for you.
Oh, no. Thanks anyway. You leave that to me. I'll take care of it. Now, I just want you to know that I appreciate the job you're doing. You know, I mean for the company and for me. Like wanting to help with my mail.
I try to do my best, sir.
And we appreciate it. And I want to tell you, it won't be long before you're in line for a very good raise.
A raise.
Quite a substantial raise.
Mr. Brom's, I'm going to take that mail down and read it for you.
No, you're not. I'll take care of it at home. You just worry about your job.
Yes, I am. Mr. Brom's, you know, you've been working so hard. Really, I think you ought to just... Let me take that.
Look who's talking about working too hard. But you're right. We're both working too hard. We'll leave the mail here. We'll face all our problems in the morning. Come on. Now, no arguments. You're going home to your charming wife, and I'm going home to my wife.
But Mr. Brom's...
No buts. Whatever the problems, whatever the crisis, it can all wait till morning. Go ahead. No, go ahead. That's it.
Gee whiz, I forgot my crayon.
You what?
My My thing. I'll just run along and get it and...
Nothing doing. You're through for the night. Come on.
Why don't you go on ahead and I'll sign out?
All right, but Charlie, don't you let him go back upstairs. He's got to get home to his young wife.
Yes, a long life.
I don't trust you. Come on. I'll drop you off. What?
A long time later, after an awful lot of walking around and muttering and mulling and wondering how a person could possibly get back a letter which was in a locked office to which he didn't have a key, a plan evolved. A plan born out of two key elements, fear and anxiety.
Hi.
Hi-ho.
Hi-ho?
You're supposed to say hi-ho, everybody.
Why?
It's the code. Aren't you with us?
With who?
CIA.
No. I'm with Brahms Baby Food.
You sure that isn't one of the covers?
Look, let's forget the whole thing, huh?
Sure, all right. I will if you will.
I will. Hi.
Hi.
Not hi-ho?
Don't get campy.
What do you hear from the mob?
Which one?
Doesn't matter. I was just sounding you. I got a caper. Interested?
How do I know you're not a cop?
I don't know. There's a parking ticket I got yesterday.
You're no cop.
How do I know you're a crook?
What do you want, a list of my credits? My parole papers. Okay?
Yeah, good enough for me. Now, here's the job.
They don't make locks the way they used to. In the old days, it was a challenge.
You don't need that. Nobody can see in.
And nothing's fun anymore.
Filcher?
Yeah.
It's locked.
Cost you another $25 to get it open.
Oh, come on.
Our deal was to get you into the building and into this office. I got us into the outer office at no additional charge.
I forgot my key to the outer office.
You go on a job with Machine Gun Kelly and make a mistake like that, he really lets you have it.
I don't suppose you're on any of the major credit cards.
Cash.
How much?
$25.
There you go. Open it.
Getting his letter back did cost him a lot of money. But judging from the way Peter slept, it was worth every penny. There is, however, one more bit of unfinished business Peter has to deal with, And she looks like she's going to collect in a basket.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just came down to get a few of my things.
Oh?
My, things. You know, those female props we left around the place to give it that married look.
Oh, your things. Your things, yeah. Morning, Greta.
Morning. What are you made up for, West Side Story?
West Side, that's funny. Say, Gret, I hope I wasn't too rough on you the other night.
No, that's all right. I guess it's best to break clean.
Yeah, well, you know, thing is that Mr. Brahms, he was really devastated when he found out that I was leaving, and he asked me if I couldn't keep it kind of quiet for the time being.
I don't see how you can do that.
Well, you know, longer notice and everything. He has to find a real strong replacement for me.
Oh?
Yeah, well, you know, poor old guy, he really needs me, you know. Mm-hmm. And I thought maybe, well, for your sake, too, if you wanted.
You mean stay married?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're willing. You know, if you're willing, because, and if you wanted your rent and your school and things like that paid for, huh?
Doesn't he know about me that we're not really married?
Oh, boy. I gotta splash some water in my face.
Sometimes a man makes a strategic retreat to marshal his forces, but sometimes while that's happening, he's already being outflanked.
Would we still have to see the Brahmses socially?
Well, you know, for a little while. Gotta keep up appearances. What do you think?
Hard to say.
You know, pretty much same sort of arrangement we have been, having.
Well, I don't know. I don't think I could do it without some new things.
Well, couldn't, huh?
No.
Well, I guess that's about it, then.
Guess it is.
How many new things?
Oh, quite a few. It would have to be sort of an open-end arrangement.
What do you mean by that?
I think they're called charge accounts.
Oh, I couldn't live with that.
Well, cheer up, Peter. You're a young man. You'll marry again.
You, know something?
Mm-hmm. I know something.
I can explain that.
No, Peter, don't bother. I tell you, it doesn't really matter what happened before. What really matters is what happens from now on.
All right, get yourself some new clothes.
Also, the limitation on dates and prior notice as previously proposed.
Fine, it's all right.
Also, I want my shower curtain, and I want the...
Oh, wait now. Shower curtain, that wasn't on your list, you know.
Oh, no. See, that list was limited to specific areas of our agreement. What we are about to renegotiate now is our whole basic contract. Now...
For the first time in the history of labor management disputes, one side is going to get absolutely everything it asks for.
Well, here we are.
Thanks for small blessings. I thought the evening would never end.
If you felt that way, imagine how I felt.
Why? It was your boss's party.
That's right. It was my boss you were embarrassing me in front of.
Oh, are you going to go through all that again?
Look, I don't ask much of you.
Oh, no.
But the least you could do is not make cracks when I'm trying to score a few points with the brass.
Can I help it if you tell the same old jokes over and over again? Now, what am I supposed to do?
What any other loving wife would do, laugh.
Look! I don't have to take this.
And while we're on the subject of criticism, don't think it wasn't obvious to everybody that you were making eyes at that out-of-town buyer.
I thought you wanted me to help you in your business.
By making eyes at a buyer? How do you think that makes me look?
Well, he was cute.
Well, you're supposed to be my wife.
Aha! But I'm not, and that's what makes it different. And that's why I don't have to stay down here and listen to your complaints. I'm going home.
Wait just a minute there. Look, I'm sorry. Look, you're right, and I'm right, right?
Right.
It's just that I may be a little bit more right than you.
Peter.
Then again, I may not be. Anyway, good night. Thanks.
Good night, Peter.
Hey, Greta, you don't mind if I don't walk you home, do you? That night air is murder on my sinuses.
As you can see, this marriage of convenience has its advantages. For one thing, it cuts arguments short.
Good night, dear.
But it can get a little lonely in the wee small hours.